Hi lovelies, welcome back to UG Update. So guys, on this video we are going to be talking about the Anupama series, guys. And we'll be talking about an upcoming episode that's about to go down in the Anupama series, and this episode was actually coming after Mera stabbed Anupama and her condition was declared critical, and as well she was declared dead. Let's find out what went down. But before I continue to the video, guys, please don't forget that this is still UG Updates. In case if you are yet to subscribe to UG Updates, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget, guys, to give the video a thumbs up. Alright lovelies, let's dive straight into the video. So guys, let's just start with everyone crying in the hospital, and then Anud reaches there. Adia says, "Pops, mommy left forever, leaving us," and then everyone cries. Anu says, "This can't happen, you are saying wrong. Anu can't leave me." He keeps his hands on the operation theater door and calls Anupama, asking if she can hear him, and asks her to get up, and says, "We can't stay away from each other." She says you can't refuse Kanhaji's sayings and asks her to get up. He cries and shouts, asking her to get up. Then he says, "Kanhaji gave me the gift of my birthday. Don't leave me." He says, "You can't leave me," and asks Babuji to ask her to get up. He says, "Why is she not opening the door and why is she not listening to me?" and calls her. Says Kanhaji said that we will never separate and asks her to listen. Suddenly, the machine starts beeping and shows normal lines. The doctors are there itself and sees the machine beeping. Then the doctor says she is alive. It's a miracle and unbelievable. They make her wear the oxygen mask again. He comes out and then tells that Anupama G is alive. It's a miracle. Anu then says, "I knew it," and thanks him. Toshu then says, "Doctor said that she is dead then. How?" Minu says this happens and tells the medical term. Anu then says it's Kanhaji's miracle. Toshu gets happy and hugs Babuji, while Saga informs Bala that Anupama is fine. Bala then informs everyone and they all get happy. Ginja comes to Ba and says mommy is out of danger. Ba then cries and hugs her. While Anuj then comes to Anupama's ward and Anupama gains consciousness and says Gabadiaji. She opens her eyes and holds his hands. Everyone then smiles, seeing her fine from outside. Anuj holds the hands and kisses on it, and then he wipes his tears and says, "Anu, we have to cover the distance from here as life partners. Anger, love, hatred, and a lot." He says, "Wherever we stay, in our house or rented house or on the road, but I want to be with you." He then says, "Kanhaji gave me the gift again and sent you back, and says you fought with the dead and returned." He says, "Something when I was unconscious, if it was truth or a dream." Anu then says it is truth and tells that he is sure that she will return from the dead. Anupama says Kanhaji might have said that if she comes up, then she will give him 5 pages lecture. So keep her down on the earth. Anuj laughs and says we shall not lose this chance and shall accept it. Anupama then says we will be together with love and we will be with man. Anuj says I love you, and then Anupama says I know. Anu then asks her to say what he could have read in her eyes, but she compressed it in her eyes. Anupama says, "I want to grow old with you." Anu then smiles and holds her hand. He keeps his hands on her head, while Anupama smiles and cries and kisses on her forehead. Adia comes there and calls Anupama. She keeps her head on her head and cries. Then Babuji says, "My daughter's family is completed now. The festival has become festival." Adia then says sorry to Anupama and Anuj and says, "I couldn't become a good daughter. You tried to make me understand, but I was adamant and stubborn." She says, "If I have not left then, we would have stayed happily in US." She then says, "I am very sorry," and cries. Anu then says, "What has happened, and it's alright that you realize your mistakes." He says, "We are together here due to God's blessings." Then Anupama smiles. Babuji, Saga, Minu and others comes there, and then Anupama calls Babuji and says she is fine. The doctor then says, "We gave you time to meet the patient for some time," and says, "Let her rest now." Anupama says, "I am fine, let them be here." Anu then says no, you had a big operation, and asks her to rest. Anupama asks Babuji not to worry and take medications, while Tochi tells that they shall go home. Titu says yes. Minu then says Mommy will sleep now as heavy doses were given to her. Babuji then asks Anu to be with Anupama, and then they leave. Anu tells Adia that he missed her so much and says he thought that then Anupama searched for her and brought her back to him. Adia says, I will never leave you all. She says, I love you so much. Another scene, the Shahs and the Asham people are dancing. Then Toshu brings Babuji and others to come there in the car. Babuji asks him to play the dole and dance and says, Jai Shri Krishna. He then says, I was not talking to God, but he returned my God, so the fight is over. They all say Jai Shri Krishna. He then tells Ba that Anuj and Anupama's love is like Radha Krishna's love, and says miracles happened in the hospital. The doctor said that Anupama is dead, but Anuj came there and called her, and she came back. He says Jai Shri Krishna, and then Bala says Bandiji told that Anuj fought with God for Anupama. Babuji says true love can bring their love back. Ginja then says I saw the Anuj Kabadia in him now. Ba then says they shall be together and be happy, while Babuji says he will have double sweets. Ba stops him but gives him a small piece, while Nandita says everyone shall have Anuj and Anupama like love. Saga looks at Minu, while Babuji asks Bala to play the drum and they then dance. The next day, Minu comes out of the house and falls. Then Saga holds her, while Paki sees them and thinks to tell with proofs. Minu goes, and then Anupama opens her eyes and sees the decorated hospital room with get well soon message. Anuj and Adia comes there, and then Anuj makes Anupama get up. Adia combs her hair, while Kinjal, Titu, Dimpy comes there with Paki and Toshu, while Anupama looks at them and smiles. Guys, that was quite an episode. At first, Anupama was declared dead, but eventually when Anuj came around, she came back to life. That was a miracle per se. So guys, what do you have to say about the episode, and what do you have to say about Adia reconciliation with Anuj and Anupama? Guys, please drop what you think on the comment section. And as you do that, please don't forget that this is still UG Updates. In case if you are yet to subscribe to UG Updates, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget, guys, to give the video a thumbs up. Alright, lovelies, that'll be a wrap. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. I really love you guys, and I will see you guys on my next video.